In this video, we are discussing the asynchronous version of the Electric Charge and Static Electricity lab. To perform this lab, you will be gathering several objects from around and working out static charges using those objects and the triboelectric series. Triboelectric is just the charges from rubbing things together. The first object that you will be using is Scotch tape. In our experience, any brand of Scotch tape will work, and the most important thing is going to be the length of tape that you use. There's a very natural tendency to want to see bigger effects, so we use bigger pieces of tape. But many of you have had some experience where you're trying to, say, tape a package up or tape something up on the wall, and you pull out a long piece of tape, and as soon as you cut it, it crinkles on itself and wraps around your hand and is completely useless because it was so long, its charges could attract other parts of itself. So when you are doing this, you don't want your pieces of tape to be any longer than about the length of your finger. In the second part of the lab, you will be gathering a number of objects from around to work out their triboelectric series. There are two objects, though, that we particularly want because we know how they will behave. The first is mammalian hair, and you can use that from kind of any source as long as it is fairly clean and fairly untreated. Ideally, raw wool straight off a freshly cleaned sheep would be perfect, but you could absolutely use your own hair, you could use your wool sweater, you could use your pet, as long as it is mammalian fur of any kind of length, fairly clean, and not much done to it. The other object that we know how it's going to behave is kind of simple injection plastic, most commonly used in things like hair combs, hair picks, and in not particularly fancy pens. If you think of something like a Bic pen, that kind of hexagonal, very cheap, you find them all over the place going to banks and things. One of those kinds of pens or a comb and hair interact in a very predictable way, and that allows you to kind of have a benchmark for how all of the other objects that you find react, because you can compare them to that reaction. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Here's this lab's fun fact. The Parkes Observatory in New South Wales was having an issue where they were seeing this enormous radio signal that kind of sporadically overwhelmed their circuits for about 17 years. That's when they realized that it was caused by opening a microwave oven before the timer had gone off.